let's get started. So today is, graceful womanhood. You know me, I'm not going to present, but I would be great later on. I give a little bit more about graceful womanhood, but towards the end. Anyway, right now we're gonna be talking about unlock your inner potential and talk about temperaments and the path of personal growth. I don't know how much you know about that, but don't worry, we're going to go through loads of information. So today we're going to talk about key takeaways, what are the temperaments, how temperaments shape our personality, typical virtues and vice associated with our temperaments, some for practical application, and final Q&A. So the journey today, the takeaways, you're going to understand what's the 4 temperaments and the role that shape your personality. We're going to discover some actionable strategy to improve our virtues and personal vices. And also, hopefully, we do a little bit of different groups so you can chat with like-minded people through the presentation. So as you know, it's very important to us get present here. We know that people's running from work, eating, and, get very distressed. And we're going to do a little take a deep breath exercise. So guys, follow me. So take a deep breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hovering. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll give the numbers and you just carry on breathing, okay? So take it in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Another one. Deep breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Another one so you fully relax. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes if you wanted to. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And release. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So now you're fully present, no distraction, no notification. We can start it and we can learn and discover new things. So the secret of happiness is not found in seeking more, but in developing the capacity to enjoy less. And as you know, last time when I mentioned a lot about less is more, and it's very much about this, we need to stop this craziness of doing more, want more, craving for more, and be overwhelming and stressed. We need to be more focused, more present, enjoy what we got, enjoy the ordinary things of our life. So I still believe that less is more in everything. More family, more grounding, more presence, more nature, and less distraction, less everything. So what are temperaments? And some people might know, some people not know. And today we're really going to go through everything. But the concept of temperament started with ancient Greek philosophers, include Hippocrates and Galen. There is other theorists as well, Kant, Lotze, Hildegard, Aquinas, Jung, Heymans, and a lot of other people as well that once they figure out that is our personality comes from the temperament, they started studying and develop even more, okay? And you're probably thinking, Tanya, how do you know about this stuff? What happened? What happened with you? From marketing, branding, and what happened? Well, basically, through the branding process, when you do personal branding, you tap in so much on the personality of the person, what she what she wants to achieve. So psychology became something that was very much my hobby. Read psychology books, understand how we process our emotions, why we like something, how we verbalize something else. And then through, as a hobby, and then I start coaching business and mentoring. And then I realized that this became even more stronger and understand them. And then I started to understand myself, figure out what's my temperament and temperament of the husband and my kids. And then everything kind of start to change in a very good way. I started to notice my own mistakes, which is very hard in the beginning because you don't want it to. You just think you're perfect, but of course we're not. And then through this process last year, I want to even more and more moving more into coaching, mentoring. And then I started doing a coaching course, which I finished now. So I have a certification in coaching now, which is great. And now my plan is continue on this journey, understand more psychology, and loads of technical terms which we don't need to know. But anyway, so temperaments is very much defined as a pattern inclination of our reactions, and it's part of ourselves. So is inside of our bodies, a physiological, is not psychological. So we're born with it. It's not something that we're thinking and is connecting and we kind of adapt it. So those temperament is part of us, is innate. And it's very much, can classify in a 4 different way, which we're going to go through in a minute. But how people react with other people or behavior or emotion is very much is part of this process. How you react and how you memorize the emotion. So it could be you meet someone and could be very excited, but also may not, maybe, a trauma, maybe you're not feeling well. There is a variation of, they call in psychology impressions, but it's very much a memory of what happened. So you can have it from a strong sensation, quick to slow, or a very faint sensation as well. And through this presentation, you're going to understand a little bit more. Maybe it's a little confused right now, but don't worry, it's normal to be confused. We live in the confused world anyway. So there's 4 types of temperaments, okay, that's typical. And I mentioned before on the other presentation, because I touched a little bit on temperaments, but it was not as in depth up today. But there is 4 types of temperaments. It's not necessarily that you are that thing and that's it. This is just, a piece of you because we are unique, but, a strong piece of your personality. And then you might, as I start to describe it, you starting, actually, I'm more like this one, more like that. So you're going to see the patterns and behaviors that you always had. And did you know you had it? Maybe you understand why you're more introverts or extroverted. Also, you're going to see that the way you think is very different from maybe your brother, your sister, your mother. I don't know. You always notice, actually, they are much more, I don't know, more social, and I'm not that social. So it's very much part of your natural behavior. And the 4 temperaments is melancholic, choleric, phlegmatic, and sanguine. I know the names is very strange names, but it's coming from the Latin, because before was Greek, it was even more difficult. But is the name that all the psychologists, counselor, coaching people still using. And if you search on internet, you're probably going to find a little bit more as well. But anyway, if you are a melancholic person, you're probably a deep thinker. You are very poetic, we're very analytical. You feel things deeply inside of you, so you might be sensitive, you're compassionate, you're thoughtful, you're reserved, you're introvert, as is completely different from a phlegmatic one, which is could be a deep thinker, but is much more relaxed and enjoys be by themselves, loves food and really easygoing. And phlegmatic people tend to be the people that loves studying as well. Choleric is the extreme, extroverted, loving people, natural leader, interested in all things, ambitious, orientated. And then there is the extrovert as well, certainly, which is that very, very social person. If you have a group of friends, that is the one that's always funny, the ones that's always have a joke, the one that's always kind of take the people away, and the talkative one, and has loads of idea, very energetic. And of course, this is kind of a basics assumptions, but we're going to go a little bit further, but so you can have an idea of all those temperaments. Another distinction of this temperament, that is the strength and weakness. And sanguine, if you're this type of person, you're very friendly, but could be a little bit superficial. And you're prone to sensuality, normally sanguine people is very flirty people. Choleric is slightly different. It's very strong will, very domineering and prone to pride. Melancholic could be very reflective, but pessimistic, prone to be sad and sorrow. And phlegmatic is calm, but it's not ambition. So it's prone to sloth. So could be a very lazy person. Okay. But of course, everyone's going to be either strong or lower on those characteristics. Okay. So what's the typical virtues and vice associated with these temperaments? So this is something now you guys, you give a little bit more so you can start and notice is something different, right? So if you're phlegmatic, you seek comfort and security. You became overly attached with material possessions and routine. This can be manifest in avarice, elected to take risk or let go what feels safe and familiar. So because you're so careful in terms of have your comfort, you don't want to risk this, and you can be very tight fist in a way because you want to do 2 + 2 is 4 and keep it that. So in order to change this mentality, generosity is a very key to counteract this vice. Also, sharing resources, sharing your time, your talents with others, and also believe and trust it in other people, not necessarily just rely on material stability, because phlegmatic, you could be a very, let's say, in a way, a very selfish person as well, likes to be by themselves and don't trust. There is a huge problem of trusting. And once you're more generous, you foster personal growth and you strengthen relationship, not just in your family and friends, but also in work. Now let's talk a little bit more about the melancholic. So the vice of melancholic is they are very deeply reflective, which is a good thing, but they internalize experience a lot, so they can go on a deep reflection. But instead of just reflecting in a good way, they're only reflecting about sadness and bad things with them, and they have a lot of envy, and they like to compare themselves with others quite a lot. And not in a good, it's not like they comparing instead of being inspired, they compare it and they feel less valuable. And they kind of find it very difficult of someone's having a better position than themselves. And their mindset is very in a sad way, because they don't believe in themselves, which is really sad. One virtue that they could be working against this mindset is having a gratitude and really believe and recognize other people unique skills and talents, and also believe in their unique talents, because despite they have unique talents and skill, they not necessarily believe in them. And also they need to focus on the strength they have achieved through life, and enjoy, appreciate what they have. And majority of the time, they don't have that. Now we're going to talk about sanguine. So sanguine is naturally draw pleasure, and he's very, prone to, indulgence in food and drinking and travel, and is the kind of the person they want to have fun today and do the work tomorrow. I don't know if you know someone like that, they have loads of things to do. No, 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 no. Tomorrow I will do it. Now I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna enjoy. And then what happens is, when you are maybe a teenager or younger, it's kind of okay make those mistakes. But when you're an adult and you still do it, you kind of lose a lot of opportunity. Okay. And the problem of sanguine, they can has a loss the track of time as well, because they are so into the moment of now, they don't see, they can't plan the future. And they're very impulsive. They are the kind of person that buy things no needed. They lose things as well. Anyway, so what I was talking about sanguine, back to my brief exercise. Try to edit this towards the end now. Anyway, so I was so sanguine people, they are very energetic and they are very impulsive, and the behavior is very much, pleasure and doing things and enjoy themselves, but not necessarily focus what they need to get doing. Okay. And what they needed to work, needed to work on temperance. They needed to include moderation, including self-discipline. Also find a good balance, because of course we need to have pleasures in life and enjoy, travel and food, but there is a balance. Otherwise, you're never gonna move, and you might, stay in the same situation forever. So you need to put a little bit of a planning, set boundaries, and have a lot of patience as well. Normally, when people, they don't have no patience, because they like, I want this, I get it. I want this, I do it, but in a very not normal way. And then they find very difficult to fostering meaningful relationship, because they change things quite quickly, and if they are in a relationship, they don't stay in a relationship very long either. And then could be relationship, work, is a difficult personality in a way. And then let's talk about the choleric, which is anger and humility. So choleric is individuals, very passionate people, very intense. They have a lot of energy, but if this energy is not directed to the right way, it can be very destructive, and they are very impatient as well, which is not great. If you have to deal with different things in life, you need to be patient. And they struggle with control their temper. Is the kind of people that's very they lose control really easy with things they are not happy with, and they can hurt a lot of people as well. That's not great. And the virtue that they need to work on is humility and self-control. And so they can control their emotions, and then can recognize that temper is so domineering on them. They not able to have, let's say, a long relationship, or maybe um, not having necessarily the right patient to build either work relation or love relation because of this anger issue they have. Also, the transformation allowed them to inspire, lead others without causing any harm. The thing is, they could inspire people, but the way they behave, that's so impatient and can be lead to explosive reaction, can cause a lot of traumas then as well. So why temperaments is essential? It's essential because it's a person's natural way of reacting to the world, and it can impact our social and emotional health. Can also affect how people interact with our environment and how others respond to us. So once you know your temperament is great because you know a little bit about yourself and how you do things, and then you're able to spot how people's behavior as well. Not necessarily that you're going to find out every single one person because it's something very unique, but you kind of start to get the gist. Oh, this person is more melancholic, this is more sanguine, etc. So if we think about, self-love, there is a lot of issue right now, people not love themselves, don't understand them. And once you know your temperament, you could start to accept yourself, start to accept your vices and your strengths and your weakness. And then you could work. Actually, this is very strong, but maybe I need to work towards my weakness and I can stopping having this kind of not good behavior. And then if you need a time alone, because some people do need time alone, even more introverted, because they feel the need of having more downtime and etc., then you make part of your schedule as well. It's so important to understand that actually you not on the go 124 hours just because of work, life, and etc. You can, plan a little bit of buffer and actually little bit of no time just for you. Also, in relation, if you work in a team, or not even if you work in a team, but maybe if you have different clients, it's very important to understand it and temperament, and also how you manage your team if you work with a big team, and how you manage your clients' expectation, because if you have someone choleric, they expect you to do the work like a yesterday. And then if you work with melancholic, the person might expect something, not as ideal. So you already know how to react with the expectation. Also, it's quite good to understand the temperaments. You are in a leader position as well, how to have the best interaction with the people that work with. Like, you can see very clearly that person is able to manage themselves. That person, I might have to hold hand a little bit. That person might be a great in terms of build the team and etc. And one key great point is in relation to mental health is understand your temperaments, you understand your emotion, and then if you're more prone to kindness, empathy, or intuition, or even if you need more help. And that's another point as well, because some people have a problem of asking for help, but maybe you need help, and I'm not saying necessary help or coaching or mentoring, but just help at work, vocalize it that actually you need extra time, extra day, you need help and you can't just keep for yourself. So now is the fun side, girls. Do you know your temperament? I don't think you do you? So I'm going to stop sharing, and we're gonna go on different rooms. So breakout room, prepare yourself to talk to other ladies for 5 minutes, and then figure out what you hear so far, what kind of temperaments you are. Don't worry, you don't need to know. It's very much, a way of talking, okay? Hopefully now And hopefully now you will know a little bit more about your temperaments. How do you feel? You know a little bit more? So? What do you think? Should I can see you now. Now you're the one that's faced me. We had a group discussion. So how temperament shape our personality? And I love that picture over there of the lady. And can you see it? You know, is a face, and then there's a different face, and then she's on the back. It's very much us because we're changing so much. Uh, we change from our poverty to our adulthood, to being a mom, to work. And then knowing ourselves, we change even more because then we start to make a decision to be a better person and to adopt, to do things in a different way. So the way that temperament shapes our personality is very much because we're born with that. So it's a consistent through life, and it's very much a baseline for our emotions, our energy level in a social inclination. Okay, so if you are sanguine, extrovert, so you're naturally sociable and optimistic. If you're choleric, you're very goal driven and assertive. So, when you say something, you do it. If you're melancholic, you're reflective and you're very detailing. So that person that's got a details for everything might be you. And you're phlegmatic, you're very calm, steady, and accommodated. My son is phlegmatic. I need to learn from him. He's so calm, is incredible. The word can explode. He was like, it's okay, it's okay. So it's quite a good thing to have a phlegmatic. It's either you learn or drive you crazy. So he used to drive me crazy. Now I'm learning from him. As you can see, I've changed. So how we react with the stimulation, how we react with challenge opportunities that we're facing every day. So, for example, choleric might react with conflict, with very decisiveness and aggression. So, if you say something to him or to her, the reaction is going to be quick and explosive. Okay. If it's a phlegmatic, he's going to avoid any confrontation, any argument, anything. So if there is a challenge, if there is a difficult situation, he might not do it. He might take a long way to face that. A melancholic might overthink the problem instead of just try to solve the problem or do something about it. He overthink the problem. That problem is stay there for a long time. And a sanguine might move something without deep reflection. So as you can see, there is no perfection here. All of us has a variation how we react with challenges in our life, opportunities, and the way we deal, in the moment is the way that show our temperament. And of course, this can change through years, but it will be a typical way that you might notice right now. And then emotional patterns. So if you think about the tendency that you have, a sanguine individual might be enthusiastic, to start something, let's say enthusiastic to start a gym, enthusiastic to study, enthusiastic to start a business, or to work, hard at work, or doing something very well, but then he's going to lack inconsistency. So he's the kind of person that starts very strong something and then drop it, or starting something and never finished. And, could be anything from a little task of, painting a room, reading a book, anything. They start us, but they are not never finish things or have very difficult in doing that. Melancholic experience emotion a very deeply way and might dwell negative feelings. So any sort of emotions the melancholic feel is very much a deep emotion. Even can be, a little comment that you make, a little expression, instead of the person just hear and, yeah, this could be good, this could be bad, and move on, or no, this is going to have a massive impact on melancholic. So the person needs to learn to be a little bit detached from this kind of emotion. Phlegmatics individuals maintain emotional stability but can lack motivation. So they are not attached with any emotions, but then they are not proactive type of person, and people might feel that phlegmatic people are very cold people because they're also introvert. So it's emotion for them is quite difficult. If a choleric, you display a lot of passion, a lot of drive, but then you might struggle with being patient, and you might not necessarily have the patience to deal with the situations that affect you all the time. And if you have something in relation with the emotion, is even harder. Because if you are choleric, is very proactive. Social interaction. If you're sanguine, you have thrive in social settings, offer building connections, effortless, which is great. Phlegmatic is very much peacemakers, value the calm and agreeable nature. Choleric can take a very good leadership role, drive others with their confidence and encourage them. And melancholic prefer meaningful and deep relationship, but may struggle to open up. Is the kind of person that you can trust, but you don't know the name, you don't know their life, it's very reserved type of people. Influence and decision make. Temperament shapes how decisions are made and goals are pursued. So choleric personalities are very decisive and ambitious and often afraid to take risk. Melancholics weigh options carefully and often overanalyze situations. So once again, overthinking, and the overthink process can lead to frustration. Phlegmatic individuals may procrastinate and avoid conflict. So the procrastination can also lead to, future frustration and lose a lot of opportunities. And sanguine might act impulsively, prioritize enjoyment and quick results. So any good plan that you have that needs to have a long-term results might be slightly difficult for sanguine because he wants now, right now. So planning is very important for all of us. Interaction with environment. So while temperaments provide a natural framework, environmental factors such as upbringing, education, life experience, and can refine these tendencies. Because once again, we have the innate temperament, but those temperaments can be changed through years, either through, parent or social, or if the person really realized they are that way and it's not good for that, and they decided to change. So, for example, sanguine that raised in a structure environment may learn to be more disciplined instead of be a quick action, and have more structure in the way they do things in life. And a melancholic, if is nurtured with encouragement, they can develop resilience, and also they can be more in a positive side instead of be on complain and sad and not believe in themselves. So on the other side as well, in terms of the development of those temperaments, once you know your temperament, once you know you are that way, the things really show to you that this is the way that you think, this is your personality, this is how you see others and perceive. You can start it, learn it. Once again, the good things and the bad things, so your strengths, your weakness, and really do the opposite. Like the choleric, they are not patient, but maybe they can learn to be more patient and can temper a little bit of the intensity, because as you know, when you meet someone that's very intense, can take your energy in away. So it's never a great thing. And the same thing with a phlegmatic individual can develop to be more assertive and overcome to be so passive, because phlegmatic is very non-proactive, it's passive, it's calm to the point that it's not great in adulthood once you going for work or once you maybe running a business, maybe you have to dealing with different people on your team. People might look at you and I think is not the kind of person that I want to work with. So we needed to make sure that we know ourselves. Therefore, we can not just understand ourselves, but also help others. So we have um, another 5 minutes discussion in a group. So enjoy yourselves very much. Talk about the temperaments. What do you think you are? What do you find fascinated? Or you haven't figured out yet. It's still, a puzzle. So 5 minutes, ladies. I hope you have fun. Enjoy it. So just to now we're towards the end anyway. So the advice is understand what temperaments is very much you identify the weakness in the areas for personal growth and specific practice and develop, patience, gratitude, generosity, servitude, charity. So you can really address the challenges that you have. And also there is, as I mentioned on a previous presentation, that we have a personal responsibility. Whatever we do it, and then there is a huge impact in our lives. So it's great when we know ourselves. It's great when we know our strengths, and we can't just blame society, blame this, blame that. Is once we know it, and I know it's difficult, just not everyone that's gonna go and start invest on personal growth and invest on, understand, why you have that personality, how the personality is good or bad, and how that personality might influence if you have a child, and your relationship with your husband, your colleagues at work, or if you run a business, teamwork. But I think it's very important you do it, because the massive of the improvements that you have has a crucial impact, not your normal family life, but also around you. And then once you understand a little bit more about you, then you can understand others, and then you can overcome challenge, you can overcome problems in a different ways, you can be more empathetic, and you can also make more choice. And a conclusion very much is these temperaments provides a foundation of your personality. Of course, here we just go through a very let's say beginners level, superficial level. You know what's temperament, the impact they have in your life, there is 4 types plus all your uniqueness. Majority of us, there is a combine of 4. So majority of us might have choleric with melancholic or choleric with phlegmatic. So this is a point of another presentation. So we need to go a little bit further, but it's very much understand what's shaping you, what's shaping the strength and weakness, and what's your tendency to do something. If your tendency is more patient, less patient, more anger, more loving, more calm, less proactive, more proactive, introvert, how can you combine those things and assess, once again, reflect, this is good, this is not so good, and now how can I build a plan around this to be a better person, to be a better wife, a better mother, better colleague, someone that when you look back and you think, actually, I'm happy now. I'm understand myself. I'm happy with my own skin. I'm happy with my own things that I see it, and I'm not avoiding challenge. I'm not running away. Actually, I feel much more empowering way. I feel much more capable of face the difficulties, opportunities, whatever comes up on my way. And I think there is not price for that, really. And at least for me, more that I'm going through this journey of, understand people, understand mindset, personality, how we behave, how I find fascinated, and more, speak with some people and clients as well. When you see the change, that's the beauty. When people say, I stopped doing that, now I'm doing that. And it's not, let's say, it's not a forceful way. It's not like, oh, I do it because, no, it was a natural way, it was a natural path. So it's very much, like I said it before, is unlock your internal potential, because you know what your potential is. Maybe now you don't know yet. Maybe you're still on a fancy, or maybe you're victim. I don't know. You can be anything. But anyway, now is open for questions. Do you have any question, ladies? Is everyone shy tonight?
I'll ask you a question, Tanya.
Go on, Joe.
Would you say, so you're not going to change yourself overnight? Would you say just take like one little element of your temperament type and then just keep it in your mind? Or I guess the one that you think is holding you back or could be holding you back. And then how would you put it into practice trying to make improvements or change that?
I think that's a great question, by the way. I think the most important things is really understand what's the vices you're having. Like, what's the things that you're keeping doing, the patterns keeping coming. You know this pattern, and you're doing, it's yourself. There's nobody else apart from you, because we tend to blame, right? Tend to blame the cat, the dog, the husband, everything, and the weather. And actually, no, it's me. I'm the problem. But when you actually, that's the thing that's really triggered me and stopped me either moving, or in my career, or in my relationship, or the way I act with people I don't like. And that's the thing. It's remind daily, maybe put even your phone on your notes and think, this is the thing that I'm going to stop in doing. And it's difficult because, as you said, it's not overnight. It's a hard working of changing, hard working of wants to do it, but you're not going to do it. You're gonna like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm a new person. I'm gonna try. And you need also to understand it's gonna be loads of failures in a way. Even though you try, you might, have 2 day setbacks. You might not do it. And fine, tomorrow you will start it again. And I think once I figured out what was my temperament, I was in shock. I was like, oh God, just awful. It's terrible. But I noticed all the horrible things within my temperament, and I was all of that plus more. And then I'm thinking, no, 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 I can't be that way. This is, yeah, I can see. And then I slowly start to change. And then few months down the line, I noticed that I was no longer doing the worst things, but it was a list, right? So huge list. I'm good on the halfway on the list right now, but I think the worst thing that was really annoying me, I used to shout a lot and drive me mental now. Anytime of speak loudly or shout, or I'm much more patient now and never shout. So took a while, you guys, took a while. You have to be very, on point of it. And I think it's like, I never smoke, but oh gosh, is it slightly late now? Poor her. She's um one thing is, once you focus, you want to change, you will change it. You know what I mean? You have that determination. You want to change this. Might take a while, but you're going to change. And I think that's very important. It's like I never smoke, but I believe when people say, oh, you have to stop smoke because your health, and the person never listen to you despite all the, health statistics and stuff. But when they decided, actually, I'm not smoking anymore, they dropped the cigarette and they starting having kind of different life. Of course, that is not perfection, but this is the way that I see it. This is the way that, make a plan and focus on that plan and try to have someone accountable as well. That's very helpful. Maybe have a friend and say, look, this week I managed to do it. Yeah. See you next week. Any questions, guys? Any more questions, Joe? Maybe you have another question. I don't know.
No, that's fine.
Sharon, do you have any question? You smiling? I can't hear you, darling.
Yeah, I've definitely when I was looking at the different temperaments, I think there's one that really stands out to me, but there are definitely parts of that, and I think, gosh, is that really me? But you then when you start thinking about it, you think, yeah, actually, but I don't want to be like that. So it's but I definitely think there are parts like you were saying about over the last few years, I've kind of been really conscious to change parts of me that I didn't like, and they've now become second nature. But it does take time to break that habit, because it is a habit, behaving in certain ways. And I think I've definitely changed certain behaviors for the better, but there are certainly ones that I still like to change, and that it's work to be done. So making a plan is yeah. And like you were saying about being accountable, actually. So like, you're literally going to write a plan. I'm going to stick it on the and absolutely need to see things.
Mm-hmm. One thing that I notice, I don't know about you, but I feel really bad when I let other people down. But when I let myself down, I feel the worst. And I said, wow, I said it, I'm gonna do that, and I'm still not doing. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So you needed to see as well, once again, your temperament. Once, if the accountable person would be helpful, but maybe you need to be accountable for you and have one-to-one with you, that's very on trend right now. Sit in front of a mirror and said, hang on a minute, let's change because I had enough.
Yeah. Mm.
Yvonne, I can't see you, but if you have any question.
Oh, sorry, darling. Is it better now? I didn't have any questions. I think it was, brilliant session as always. I came a little bit late. I literally went to join Zoom as soon as I entered my house. So I missed a little bit, but what I've heard, it was really great. So thank you, Tanya.
Thank you very much.
I have a lot of what I found, because I've Googled it actually, because I've missed the part on the 4 temperaments. So I've Googled it just to see, the little bit about it. And actually, I can see myself in all of them. Me and Joe were in the same breakout room, so we were chatting of it. So definitely something for me to look more into.
Yeah, and one thing that I mentioned on the last presentation was we gonna get developing in a way that people might not notice your character, your personality, your temperament, right? Because you're so even, you're not explosive, you're not so calm, you're not social, you're not that. So when you reach that, means that you're in a good progression. The problem is when people look to you and they already point you, or you are this, you are that. That's not nice. That's not nice. It means that you have a lot of work to do. And also, it's not that once you know your temperament, you blame it. Oh, that's my temperament. That's the way I am. No. You know it. Only you should know it. Nobody should know it. And you should not use it as a escape, because I'm born that way. I'll be, no. Move on, you know it. And then try to reassess, try to be a better person. Any more question, Marianne? No? Samantha? Marina? Fran, I'm not sure if you're gonna show your face. Are you showing your face? I think she's driving. She was at like a school football, something like that. Gosh, you're very late, but hey, never mind. So, ladies, I'm just gonna. Do you have 2 minutes so I can share about the community? 2 minutes, everyone. Okay, it's not gonna take long. Just gonna go here. So basically, I want to start it. Well, you're inside of the WhatsApp group, majority of you, not all of you, but I want to start the Graceful Woman community. And so far, we have these 3 presentations, very different presentation. One was more into, reflecting about your life. Another one was about, setting goals, making plan. And today was about find yourself, talk about your temperaments. And then in January, I'm planning an event with different speakers, with people that's talking about health, talk about nutrition, talk about business, a little bit of everything. But it's still, I'm still organizing. But the idea is now invite people to be part of the membership, which is going to be once a month presentation, either online or in person, and has a little bit of coaching, mentoring group as well that I wanted to start it with. And maybe future have a mastermind and have retreats. But this is what I'm planning so far. So I'm gonna send a link for you guys that being here on this presentation today and the people that sign up on the Zoom, giving a little bit more about the membership, what I want, how I want it. And if you guys want to be part of it, and if you have any questions, feel free. But I'm very excited. It's something that I'm doing organically at the moment. And I want to continue, having the right people at the right time. I don't want anything to go, I'm not going to do any huge marketing yet because I'm still testing and fine tuning with the people that I want to be part of the community. Okay. And so basically it's that. And if you guys have any questions in relation to the community, let me know. Oh, this is the bag that was chosen, the most voted one. But on the LinkedIn was not that one, so it's very difficult because in the group was one, but the LinkedIn was a different one. Anyway, so I'm not sure if you guys took a picture of the beginning of the presentation or picture of me, but if you have any picture of me here now or before, please share on your social, LinkedIn mostly, please. Instagram, I'm not so much lately, but who knows, right? Tag me to use the hashtag Graceful Womanhood. And then I'm going to give the tote bag once it's done and a ticket for the next event, which is going to be in January. So that's the news. Also, I'm looking for, now I'm doing a list of people that want to speak on events. Also, people that want to be sponsored the event. So it's a lot of work, but no complaining. So watch the space, as they say. And that's it. So thank you, ladies. Thank you so much. Sorry for take you extra 70 minutes of your time, but has been amazing.
Thank you so much.
Yep, thank you, Tanya. Lovely to meet you all. Bye.
Thank you.